And it is, I guess we'll say this part 2 of sandblasting the chassis. And I am all set up. It's been 2 days. I picked up the sand yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Of course, there were other things due tomorrow. Oh, I could be feeling better. I've had my flu shot, and it's just there. Yeah. So, 5 bags ready to go. And if anybody's interested in the sandblaster itself here, we've had this for about 30 years. It's an ALC. Let's say whatever the modern version is that they're selling, I don't know, but there's plenty of them out there. I believe, I'm trying to think of, we changed the Deadman valve on it to this version. The other version was not working too well. I added this regulator because you really want to have control of your blast pressure here and not where you get your air from in wherever the compressor is. So there's also a valve at the bottom, and just to tell you, if you start one of these, if you're going to use one, have the valve closed, and then once the air is going, take your foot and just turn it on a little bit, enough to get the right amount of sand you want, or media, we'll say, out first. So, all right, time to load it up and get going. The wind is going the right direction. My wife has some clothes out on the line, so it's not blowing towards that, otherwise I couldn't do this. It's 68 degrees today, which is really our last warm day for a while. And temperatures are going to be high, the 40s here real soon. So I'm going to take advantage of the warm weather. Just the latest progress as I am blasting away. So you probably will see the braze joints. So that's all brazing done originally. There is a little bit of welding, regular. I'm probably the time I would say stick welding, because I don't know, were they doing MIG welding back in the late 70s? Don't know. There's a little bit of we'll say stick welding on this. Well, I guess when they did all these. So, and there's a couple of tacks around the edges of the panels here, just on them. But here's how it's going. I did have a question in the comments about why don't I reuse the media. Put a tarp down, reuse the media back through the blaster. The biggest reason is we're taking off trash. We're taking off paint, we're taking off grease, taking off under coating, whatever was on here. It's very difficult to get that sieved, we'll say cleaned, to put it back in the machine. And you end up with, if you try to do it, you'll end up with lots of clogs, because it's only a small 1/8-inch orifice in the gun, and anything that is not sized will just clog the gun, and then you've got to clean everything out and start over, and then hit another clog, and then hit another clog, and it's just not worth it. In the reclaimer system that I have in the indoor blast cabinet, it sorts all that. It goes ahead and takes care of all of the dust and the trash, sorts it through the centrifuge, and gives me clean media to go. Also, once you start using this media, it breaks down. So there is some of it that's not, we'll say, used. It bounces off, and it's still the same size you started with. But there is some of it that it disintegrates, and it becomes smaller particles, dust, and it becomes ineffective to keep using it. In the interior sandblast cabinet, you do have to regularly add more media, because as the stuff gets small, and we'll say more to the dust particles, the centrifuge kicks it out anyway, and you don't have to worry about it. This stuff would be, I guess, grease, underlayment, grease maybe. Or this is maybe the foam tape. That's I think what that is. That's the foam tape, because there was a piece of rubber on here for the bonnet. It usually takes a little while longer to wear all that away. So, well, I'm continuing. Well, I think I've ended my day outside. Days are much shorter right now. I've run out of daylight, which really you need to be able to see to do this. It's very difficult through all the, we'll say the clouded mask, clouded hood to see. I think there's a few spots, say the tough areas. This back here, it's like it's dried on grease, oil, maybe it's some underlayment that was sprayed. I don't know, but definitely that takes a lot of time to try to wear off. I'll see if I can scrape it and speed up the process on there. But this side is done, and I did blow off all of the media before I came in this time. So, definitely had to get back in there. And think I'm getting close to turning this thing on its side so I can work the inside of it and get different angles. So that's the end of this day, and I will probably continue. I'll continue on this video for the next. For you, it'll just be for a moment. For me, it might take a day or two. Tomorrow's supposed to rain, so I'm not going to be able to get out and do any work outside. So depending on weather, I'll be getting us back out to continue everything. All right, more progress on sandblasting. And see, this was probably getting the inside, and we'll say underneath, because I had this thing up on its side, so I was working underneath. So all this is about 2.5 bags today. So what I went through was about 2.5 bags. I will say that this on this edge, this is really thick. And it's like, we'll say road grime, everything else. So I'm going to see about scraping that before I start hitting it up with the sand again. I need to get more sand. Okay, so I have picked up 7 bags so far. I've used 6.5 bags. How many more to get this done? So basically, I've got the back to do. Some more here, because when you turn the thing on its side and turn it on the other side, and eventually I'll flip it upside down. So I have to do, we'll say the inside there yet. 4 bags, maybe 4 bags. So I can always use it. If I buy more, having them in stock is not the issue. So, and just for my future self, this little piece of rubber was mounted right there, and I don't remember what was mounted to it. I'm sure if I go back in the old photos, that was kind of stuck. And I was like, oh, I got to pull that off. So just a note to myself to get where that goes back to, and I figure out what mounts there. And definitely, this is one of the, I say, pitted areas. All right, that's the update on the chassis. And for me, it's the next day. It rained last night, rained this morning, and outside the weather is humid, very humid. And unfortunately, I cannot, it may have stopped raining, but to take the steel out and absorb all that moisture into it will just promote a lot of flash rust. So I have to wait a day or two until the humidity really drops down and I can go back out there without having rust issues with this freshly cleaned metal. Okay, so other things. Now, I have mentioned these broken studs in the past. That was one, and I just finished working on it. So I'll show you what I did to get the stud. There is bit of it out. I've tried turning it, tried heating, doing all the things. It doesn't work so well. So I made up a tap block, a drill block, I should say. So this block basically has, was it 11/64? Is it? Yeah, 15/64. Sorry, 15/64 holes, which are just smaller than 1/4 inch because these are quarter 28. They're fine. So I drill them in just kind of far enough, and that then will go over the stud. And then there's a smaller hole on this side progressing larger, so that I mount this. If I can do this one-handed, that's the problem. I'm doing it one-handed. Mount that over the piece of bolt left, clamp it in, and then that gives me a nice drill guide to drill the hole out down the center, and then just move the block over to progressively larger holes till I get to what size did I put? Sorry, I forgot. What size did I get here? Let me see. 13/64. That's what I ended up with, I think. I think that's what I ended up with. So let me get that set up. The block is set up with the smallest hole to start, and then I'll drill that through, and it should be fairly centered. And then I will progressively move it over, as long as the little piece of stud stays out to start as the guide into the block. And this should work out as good as it did the first one. The second stud is out, and I finish up by running a tap in, cleaning up all the threads, and that works well. So I only have 2 more to do. 3 out of 4 done. I do have to get a little bit longer tap because it's just not long enough to get all the way through.